welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch. I am so happy that you are here, that you're liking, that you're sharing, that you are subscribing, and that you are going on this journey with me. And I am so happy to be going on with you as well. Why? Because we were never meant to do life alone. If we were, we would not be in this environment with one another, in this world with one another, right? You would just be here by yourself. And how fun would that be? Wouldn't be that fun at all. It would not be fun at all. Let me tell you, a lot has been going on. Like I said, we're going to be thinking, not thinking, but showing you what I've been working on, what I've been doing. I'm super excited about that, and also continuing on in this conversation into part 3 in regards of when it comes to gifts, the gifts that's been given to us, how we have not earned these gifts, how we have not done anything in regards to, our age, our gender, our ethnicity, how many resumes we've written, how many jobs we have, haven't had. None of these things matter when it comes to the gifts, right? They've been given to us before we even took our first breath. You have them, they're in you, they're not going anywhere. That's the thing about it. They are not going anywhere. There is nothing that you can do for them to be taken away. There's nothing that you can do. You can hide, you can run, you can, other than die. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at that, but I'm just saying, like, there's just nothing that you can do to get away. I'm sorry, I have a piece of gummy bear in my mouth that I really wanted when I went to go on break. And so, anyway, that's what's in my mouth. There's nothing that you can do about it. It is pretty super freaking awesome. But even in that, you have a responsibility, right, to steward the gift and not allow the gift to be used and manipulated and used and all these type of things. If you look at the other episode, I'm talking about, look, if it's manipulation, right, people trying to dominate and all these type of things, it's witchcraft, you're being pimped out, right? I shared a little bit about, me being prostituted out in my gifts, but we have a responsibility to protect the gift. We have a responsibility to protect the gift. Hold on. So I'm going to dive just a little bit deeper into some other points I want us to understand and get to. But before we do that, did you do your homework? See, some of y'all was already behind from the previous week because you didn't write down all the gifts that you have and identifying one or two that you were going to focus on for the year. That was assignment number 1. You're going to write down all the gifts and what you're going to focus on, 1 or 2 for the year. And those are the 2 gifts, or even the 1, that you are going to become skilled in. That was the assignment. And you had another assignment on top of that assignment that you were going to get a book in regards to that particular gift. And you were going to read that book. And in each chapter, you can still be going through it right now, that's fine. But in each chapter, you were going to do your takeaway. And then you were going to go to an actual video, whether it be YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Coursera, it could be O'Reilly, but you were going to actually do a video as well, and you were going to do your takeaways away from that video. If you completed that, hey, kudos to you. If you're still working on it, kudos to you as well. But that was part of the second assignment. So hopefully you've done that. Have you done it? If you still have questions, you can reach me, okay? You can reach out to me. Okay, so as you can tell, I have like this little cute, it's almost like a little bonnet type thing or whatever. But it's so super cute, right? And I actually got this, it was some type of market. And I can't, I can't remember where we were at, where me and Murdoch was at, but it was some type of market. And oh, I'm trying to remember where we went to, but it was definitely not in the States. Was it when I went to Costa Rica? I can't remember, but anyway, so it was like this little bonnet that I got. And I got this bonnet because there was a young lady, literally like a teenager, whatever, and she had a booth, and so there were all like these knitting, things or whatever that were in her booth or whatever, keychains, hats, pins, all these type of things. And I was like, oh, these are so cute, whatever. So I'm thinking like maybe it's her mom or something like that. But then as I'm talking to her, she says, no, oh no, it's her aunt's booth. And she's, working at her aunt's booth for that day. And while she was there, I had also noticed that she was knitting herself. And so I said, oh, okay, that's nice, whatever. But she talked about how her aunt had taught her, how to knit and the things that she had made or whatever, and what she was actually working on now. And I just really, felt compelled to make sure I purchased something from her booth. And it was because she was cultivating the gift. Everyone can't knit. You can go to a knitting class and you might be able to make exactly how they told you to do it, but then when you come out of there, it's an art, it's a skill. And so these are one of the things that she made. And I was like, this is so cute, and it's my color, and it was big enough for my locks, whatever. So I was just like, this is so cute, and I'm gonna wear it, and I'm gonna make, Sahara jealous all at the same time. But anyway, so I wanted to be supportive, of her gift, and her sitting there, rather than being on her phone as a teenager. And actually working on another piece, another item, right, showed that she was serious about her gift and being skillful in it. Because the only way you're going to be skillful in it is actually by doing and practicing. Okay, so I can read the instructions all day long, but I'm going to have to put some hands to some things, right, to make sure that what I'm reading, it shows that I understand it. So here's my hat. Isn't it cute? You think? Okay, anyway. All right, so going back into this, right, we did a little recap, and so I want to talk about the next thing, right? So next thing is the exercising versus the exploiting, right? And so there's a difference between exercising your gift and allowing it to be exploited, right? We talked a little bit about that. But when we're talking about exercising, meaning that you're being intentional about it, that you are growing, that you are refining, right? And you are building capacity, right? Building up the capacity to hold, right, this gift, right? Because this gift is growing, right? And it's expanding, right? To be utilized in certain ways and in certain spaces and things of that nature, right? So when we're talking about exploiting, right, that means that you're under pressure, right? You're drained, unappreciative, you're undervalued, right? And you're operating out of guilt instead of purpose. You feel guilted, like, is that even a word? Yeah, you feel guilty if you don't do it. Right? So you're feeling pressure that you must do this thing. And you're not even operating in purpose. So someone's asking you to do something, right, to utilize this gift, but you're feeling pressure and you're feeling like if I don't do it, then they're going to think this. If I don't do it, then I'm going to get ostracized. If I don't do it, maybe I'll get beat. If I don't do it, right? There's all these if I don't do it versus is this purposeful? Is I'm supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be connected to these people? Am I supposed to be connected to this organization? Am I supposed to be yielding this gift and servicing this gift to these people? Right? You must pay attention to how you feel after you use your gift. That's part of that stewardship, right? Do you feel aligned Or do you feel used and abused? And see, that's what I was talking about, in part 2 of this, of being prostituted out, right? I was a prostitute. I was being prostituted out. And it wasn't just by organizations, but it was actually by people too. Oh, Renee, can you do this? Can you do this? You only call me when you need something. You only call me when you need something. You want me to utilize my resources, my money, and after it's all said and done, I don't feel like I'm aligned anywhere. I feel undervalued and unappreciated and abused and used. And I was like, oh, snap. What are we doing here? What's happening here out in here in these streets? Because I can't be doing this. No. We're not doing this no more. We're not doing it. You must be able to discern, right, or distinguish between the two. Is it alignment? Is it alignment? Maybe my hand should be like this. Is it alignment? Alignment or being used? Being used. I guess I'm doing this because it's like thrown away. It's like I'm throwing something away. Being used, right? Like, shoot, I've used you. You're no longer any good anymore. So it's alignment or you're being used. Anyway, that's just my own little joke. But you must be able to distinguish between the two. And it actually matters. Because then you're understanding, am I being exploited in this or am I actually exercising in this? Right? Because you exercising in this is like, oh, it's a little small assignment, right? Just to see how, you've learned and you've grown in this or whatever before I can take you and use it somewhere else, right? Because again, exercising is all about growing, right? Being intentional, right? About refining some things, in those spaces and places or whatever that are safe before you are thrown out there, to steer the ship by yourself. No one else is there. No one else is around. So you have to think about that. And then let's talk about unused gifts, right? Let's address the other side of this thing, right? So you're talking about like we can't do all things. We can't do them. And so because we can't do all of them, what are we doing with the gifts that are unused? Are they really being not used? Are they? Let's talk about that. So some of us are overusing, and we're also underdeveloped, if I'm saying that right. Yeah. So some of us are not overused and we are also underdeveloped, right? So you have a gift or gifts you've been sitting on. You've been sitting on these gifts. Because why? Because you're afraid of the visibility. Because you're afraid of the responsibility. So you just shrink up. You don't leave the house. You don't put your name out there. You don't say anything in meetings. You just don't do anything, right? Or you're waiting for someone to tell you that it's okay for you to move out and do whatever the case may be. You are living in fear and not understanding what has been placed inside of you and the purpose of it. So you sit on it and you do nothing with it. That's also right out of alignment. Because there is nothing that we should, the things that have been placed in us should be utilized, right, for the service of other people. And so when you don't use the gift that you've been given, then there is something missing within this construct of that community in which you are in. You are the answer to a particular problem in that community. People don't want to understand and recognize that the solution, see, we look for processes and things or whatever. No, people are the solution. And the reason why people are the solution is because they have the gift that's inside of them that can solve the problem. It's okay to be visible. What is not okay is to be flamboyant about and flaunting and be egotistical about the gifts. Do not be afraid of the responsibility that has been given to you. Like I said before, get up out the bed because people are waiting on you. It is what is it word? It is sad. I know the word is being sad, but maybe the word is it's just terrible, right? It is a catastrophe when we don't use what has been given to us. When we remain silent and we do nothing with the gifts that's been given to us. If we don't practice it, if we don't unlock it, then we won't perfect it. The thing that keeps tugging at you every single day, the ideal that won't leave you alone, the question that you ask and then it's the same answer. It's just in a different way. That desire that keeps building and building and building, the desire to write, the desire to mentor, the desire to construct, the desire to create, the desire to lead, the desire to sing, the desire to dance, the desire to build a school, the desire to be on the board at the hospital, the desire to take care of people, the desire to organize, the desire to clean, and the desire to cook. That thing right there. It's not random. It doesn't just keep coming up. It doesn't just keep, populating just because. It's not random. It is part of purpose. It is a gift that is asking, that is yelling, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here. Don't forget about me. Unlock me. Unwrap me. It's almost like somebody give you a gift. Okay, I have like a really bad habit. I'm just going to be honest because I just like being honest anyway. So, if I am somewhere and I have my book bag, which is majority of the time, and you give me a gift, 99.9% of the time it's going in the bag, right? Because I'm not opening it right then and there, unless like you're demanding me to open this gift right in front of you, but I'm not opening it. And so I don't open the gift until I get home. Well, then here's the thing. When I get home, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can open this gift. I probably forgot that there's a gift in the bag. I have forgotten that there's a gift in the bag. Unless I'm getting something else out the bag and I'm like, unpacking the bag, whatever the case may be, depending on what book bag it is, because I have different book bags. And so the gift just sits there. And it just sits there, and it just sits there, probably until the bag gets picked up again. And when the bag gets picked up again, the gift is not discovered until I open the bag, and I have to put something in there, and I'm like, oh, snap, there's a gift in here. Or, oh, there's a card in here. And so there have been times, I'm just going to be honest, there have been times where I have missed out on a deal because in the card was a coupon, or in the card was a gift card, or in the card, I remember one time I opened up a card and it was actually an invitation. And And the event was like happening like I think that weekend or something like that. And I felt so bad because I'm very good about RSVPing to, excuse me, to events. So I felt really bad that I was RSVPing at the last minute. But my point that I'm making in all of this is there are gifts that are laying dormant in us if you have not unlocked them and not have acknowledged them and opened them, but they're literally screaming because they're not going anywhere. They're screaming in your dreams. They're screaming when you're randomly, driving and just, dreaming or thinking or meditating. They're there. They're there when you go to sleep. They're there when you wake up. They're there when you're taking a shower. They're there when you're pooping. Like, they're there, and they're not going anywhere because you're not doing anything with them. You have a responsibility. Again, you have a responsibility to yourself and mankind. Okay? The gift is asking to be unwrapped and to be exercised, that it may grow and that it may be used to the fulfillment in which it was placed inside you for. Now, here it is. We're at the end of the thing, and we must understand that you're not going to make your goals this year if you don't understand the gifts that you are supposed to be using to get there. If you don't understand the part of your makeup, then you're not going to get there. You're going to be spinning your wheels. And that goes again to trying to use all 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 30 something gifts that are inside of you. No, pick one or two and focus on those things, because the 1 and 2 that you're focused on, I'm telling you, that's the thing that is not random. It's not random. Like, I'm very good. So I say this all the time. Like, I can come up with something creative or whatever the case may be. But when I know that someone that's their thing, I want you to take what I came up with and I want you to do the thing, right? I want you to upscale it, because that's not my thing. I see something in my head. I know what I want it to look like. I have some type of concept, ideal, whatever. And then I give it to the expert, the person that can see beyond what is in front of them and create this visual art, right? So I'm not trying to do all things and be all things anymore. I'm just not doing it. But I'm focusing on the 1 and the 2 things that I know, right, is part of getting me and servicing the community in which I've been called to. So I want to leave you with this. You were giving something before you even had language. It cannot be revoked by failure, by mistake, by rejection, even by delay of you allowing it to lay dormant. But here's the thing, it can be neglected and it can be misused and mishandled and handed over to people who don't understand the gift, who don't value the gift. We got to be mindful that we don't allow the gift to be prostituted. Pimps are not a male figure with a big hat and big shoes and jewelry and fancy cars. That's not the only ways that a pimp is orchestrating business. The pimp could be an organization. The pimp could be your loved one. It could be your spouse. It could be your, it could even be your children. Oh Lord, today. They could be an organization. Pimp is pimp. And prostitution is prostitution. So it can't be neglected. We must protect it. It was given to you, not to them. They see it. Oh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to get something out of that. But it's your responsibility. Your responsibility with that gift to protect it. Not only to protect it, but you must practice it to become skillful, intentional, and growing with it and understanding when and where and how to use it. Protect, practice, and perfect it, that you may become the SME of it. And you use it for service and not for fame, not for egos, not for validation, not for the applause, not for the likes, not to prove anything to anybody, but you use it to build something. To build what? Community. To build families. To build up one another. You're here to steward what was placed inside of you with precision and integrity. That's it. You're there to steward it. So you're going to ask yourself these questions. What gift have I been overexposing? And what have I been underdeveloping? Because it's either or. I'm overexposing a thing, or I'm underdeveloping something. Remember, it's not going anywhere. But it can be misused and abused. And where do I need to place the boundaries when it comes to the gifts? Me utilizing this gift, I should see the fruit thereof. I should see the thriving thereof. Thriving in where the gift is being used. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I just want to leave you with that. I hope you understand and have gained some more knowledge about the importance of what you carry inside of you. It's so important that we understand what we carry, the weight that we carry. And it's not about this weight that just bogs you down, but it's this weight that you can walk with strength. A weight that you understand the responsibility to mankind, the weight of understanding the responsibility to change up communities and be okay with becoming and knowing you are the answer. That's right, you are the answer to a problem. You're an answer to a problem. And it's what's inside of you that you're carrying. So if you overexpose it, it doesn't get to be utilized in the way that it's supposed to be. And if it's not being underdeveloped, then there's people that's waiting for you. So, thank you for tuning in and going on. I think this is the third one in regards to your gifts. The gifts that are not being repoed. Okay? They're irrevocable. They're not going anywhere. So what's inside of you was placed there for a particular reason. It's your makeup, it's your design, and do not be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it. All right? Until next time, protect the gift, do your homework, and I would love for you to share about your experience as you are going on this journey. I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. Peace. Until next time.